and I went to Bryan High School for high school. Dang, let's redo that one, bro. That's garbage. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Hey, I'm Timothy Eaves, and welcome to my podcast, Talkative Tim. I'm very new to this. I don't really know how to start this off. Hopefully, down the line, I will have a guest or co-host to talk about important subjects. But today, I really just want to talk about myself and a little bit of personal challenges I have with being a creative and why it took me so long to do content like my podcast or the videos that are going to be popping up on my channel pretty soon. First and foremost, I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. I'm the oldest of 4 children. I lived in North Omaha all my life. I went to Skinner, Mount View, Monroe, and I went to Bryan High School. I got into video production in my sophomore year of high school. I went out to the TAC building. It's a funny story, kind of how I got into it or why I got into it. So, like many kids, growing up, I dreamed of being a professional athlete. I played basketball from my 4th grade year all the way into my senior year in high school. I was an all right player. I wasn't the greatest player ever. I wasn't, anything amazing or nothing like that. But I love sports and I wanted to be part of sports. But I knew I wasn't going to be no 6'8" LeBron James. So since I ended up being 5'9", I decided I had to find another way to be a part of this. So I got into video production at the TAC building. It was a class offered to all high schools, all OPS high schools. And I just seen it one day. I thought it would be cool. And I thought, this is my way to stay close to sports in the future. So I went down there. I fell in love with the class. I stayed there from my 10th grade year to my 12th grade year. And because of that class, I met a lot of great friends. My homie Eaves, TK, Sean, and so many other people. I had some great teachers too, Mr. Walker and Mr. Hunter, and just a lot of great experiences being inside that program. It also really geared my life into video production and photography. I fell in love with being able to be around the game, basketball still and other sports still, but I also fell in love with being a creative. We started learning how to do short films, storyboarding, After Effects, working with Premiere. And it really was something different for me. It was a challenge. It still is a challenge. It's a lot to learn. But it's, it fed my hunger. Kind of how basketball did. It made me want to keep working at something. It made me excited about something. And that's how I kind of fell in love with that. From my time there, I ended up graduating, obviously. So I went to college. Although I said I was not a good basketball player, I do have to throw this out there. I did get a scholarship to play at a little college. It was a partial scholarship, but I ended up getting a scholarship to go to a bigger public college, right? Public college. I got a scholarship called the Opportunity Scholarship, which is a branch of the Buffett Scholarship. Buffett Scholarship is a really big scholarship in Nebraska that everybody hopes they get. I ended up getting the Opportunity Scholarship, which is basically just the money. Buffett kids get the money and they get help. They get we get 5 years of tuition paid for and all the other good stuff. And they have to do other classes. Me, Opportunity kids, they just gave us the money and they kind of said, good luck. It was a blessing as well. But my time being in the TAC building created a new love, other than, basketball and sports. It created a new love of short films and video production. So I went to college to study creative media. So my time at my college, which is the University of Nebraska at Omaha, I stayed there because I'm an Omaha kid. I didn't really want to go to the big college of UNL, the Cornhuskers, because one, I thought I wasn't going to focus there, which is probably BS because I didn't focus much at UNO either. But I was still in the town where I grew up in, and my mom at the moment was there, so it was familiar for me. I was in the town where all the news stations were at, all the big time news stations in my state were at. So it didn't make sense for me to go ahead and go down to Lincoln. But it was a great experience. I'm still in college. I'm in my last year, but it was a great choice for me to go ahead and go to UNO. So why I say it's a great choice for me to go to UNO? Because I got to be the first student worker for the Omaha Athletics program, video production program. They're transitioning. Ooh, wow. I mess up a lot with my words, bro. But, they were becoming D1. They used to be a D1, a D2 school, but then they became a D1 school. And so they were looking for like whole new student crew. They were redoing arenas, just doing the whole nine, switching up everything. So I ended up getting a job my freshman year. It's like weird. I signed up late to go to college. I didn't know if I really wanted to go to college or not. My mom said it's either college or the Army. I barely got a dorm. In July, I found out I was getting a dorm. In August, I moved in. And then, bam, I was applying for jobs. I gotta have a job. So I got a lucky call back from this guy named Nick Burkhart, who is a terrific mentor, great person. Honestly, hands down, someone who has really impacted my life a lot. Just a great guy. He hired me for my first on-campus job, and that really, being a part of that production team, really changed my life around. Really inspired me to get into video production even more, and the creative side, and really how can I say made me knew what I wanted to do, I knew I wanted to be a part of this. I knew this, if I had to do anything for the rest of my life, it was going to be in this direction. It was going to be creating awesome graphics, or learning new video tricks, or all that stuff. That's stuff that interested me. So him giving that job, him working with me, was amazing, because I was at every game. I got to work on interstitials. I got to TD games, which are Techno Direct games. I got to be a part of so many great things. And it all started because it really started from high school, staying with this video production, and then, just continuing to college, and again, being lucky enough to be a part of that new period in UNO's history. From there, I worked at other places, a couple of new stations, which I will talk about later. I worked at some arenas. I worked at Rawson Arena here in Omaha, Nebraska, which is a mid to low type arena, but I really got to develop I want to say my skills there. I got to be able to do all types of camera work there as well, but I also got to set up for events, for concerts, for sporting events. I got to be hands-on through the whole time from a very early age, from right out of high school, or in high school at the time, I guess, and then until about 23 years old, I was, hey, y'all go set that up, y'all go do that, y'all run a show. Something bad happens, y'all gotta fix it. And it was an awesome experience for me as well. Now, kind of talking a little too much and a little too fast. I'm not trying to make this video super long, just because, it's just really about me, and I don't want this to all be about me. But why it took me so long to create a podcast and other content that featured me. A lot of people know I do photography. A lot of people know I do video work. But I don't get to show off my work as much because I'm kind of in a battle with myself. ever since I got into college, I've been dealing with a lot of depression, up and down weight gain, stress of college, learning who I am as a person, which a lot of people our age, not our age, but in life, period, is going to have to go, have to do, We're going to have to figure out who we are. We're going to have to figure out what we do, who we're going to become, and all the other good stuff. And I was at that period. I'm still at that period. I'm going to forever be at that period, I guess. But just trying to figure out who I was and dealing with that. I wasn't the same person I was in high school. Looking in the mirror and be like, yo, you got a little chunky, bro. You're not the same basketball player dude with the long hair that used to run up and down the court all day. You a lot heavier now. You looking a lot rough now. You not looking like you're happy around here now. So during that period, a lot of changes was happening in my life. From my mom moving, friendships and relationships really breaking up, and feeling alone during this period of time, and just adjusting to college, being stressed out like crazy and putting a lot of pressure on myself. I got to a point where my self-esteem and my confidence was broken. Like, I just didn't want to be a part of anything. I wanted to do my video stuff, and that kept me afloat, that kept me solid, that kept me happy, but everything else in my life was kind of feeling downhill from there. So it was very hard for me to dig myself out of this hole. So for years, I was struggling with it. I was making excuses like many people do. I was spending all my money, put myself in a hole. I had to go work some more. I couldn't create as much. And then as the confidence was, self-esteem was going down, my confidence was going down. I was studying more. I didn't want to study the type of stuff I was studying. I wanted to work on graphics and other stuff like that. And I seen other people's work, and my confidence started wavering. And I'm like, yo, you're not as good as that. You can't do this. You can't do that type stuff. So it was a challenge to go ahead and be like, yo, bro, you can do just as great as work that they are doing. You can be just as good as them, but you gotta handle your business first. You gotta get your mind right first. You gotta build your self-esteem up first. You gotta work on yourself. And right now in 2020, November 2nd, I think today is, I decided to get up off my little sad horse, whatever you want to say. I started my little pity party and take on a challenge, stop being scared, be honest with myself, say, hey, you're not where you want to be at right now, but you can get there. And you're not going to get there by just being sad and disappointed and stuff. You're going to get there by getting that camera out, recording, doing your podcast. It ain't got to be perfect, but you got to do it. You got to start from somewhere. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm starting from somewhere. I'm going to keep adding on, keep building. And I hope that if you do watch these podcasts, if you do watch these video podcasts, if you listen to this podcast, or you see any type of work that I do, or if you know me, or if you hear of me, or whatever, man, I hope you just understand, I hope you get the same vibe and understand I'm at right now. Do what makes you happy. Don't be scared to do anything. Don't be scared to start from the beginning level. Don't be scared to mess up. Don't be scared to, don't be scared to think of what other people are going to be thinking about you, or their opinions on your work, or don't let that that low self-esteem or that low confidence in you hold you back. You got to take one step at a time and build it back up, or build it up, period. You can do it. I believe you can do it. I believe I can do it. So I want you to believe you can do it. I hope that everybody believes they can do it. I hope that when you see yourself, you're at the most confident. I hope that you understand, because you can lose years for this. You can always restart. You can always press record again, but you can't get back the time that's wasted. You can't get back the years that you wasted being sad, or you can't get back the years that you wanted to do a project, but you never worked on it because you were beating yourself up. So I just want people to be happy. I just want people to build their confidence up at the same time like I am doing. And I just hope that in this podcast today, my introduction podcast, that you kind of get motivated, not even motivated. You hear some type of words that you just like, and you do something that you didn't want to do. I get up, go to the gym, do your homework or whatever it is, and you go ahead and become a better you. Throughout my other podcast episodes, I hope that you get some type of gain from it, and see my growth from my episode 1 to my episode 300. And you just, you see my growth, and you feel that type of, you see my growth, and you can feel that type of progress, and you know that you can always work to get better. And I hope you get that from today. But like I said, I'm not trying to hold everybody up too long. Just want to do a quick introduction. This is kind of like episode 0. I'm called episode 1. But just to kind of put it out there and let people know what I do, what I'm going to be doing. And I'll see you next time.